guys, Keto Phoenix here and welcome back to another one of my videos. I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy this kind of style video that I'm doing today. If you do, please, I know there's not many of us, but please let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed it, and I'll definitely do it again. I do want to today I'm just going to chat with you guys. I have a lot to talk about, so I figured why not chat while I'm running. So we're gonna run together. So real quick, if you're new here, hello, welcome to my channel. I pretty much talk a lot about wellness. In the beginning, it was all about keto and my journey with weight loss and keto. I've been on keto for about 10 years now, off and on for about 10 years now, but my life has really shifted a lot since then, and I've started running and I've got big plans for my running journey. I'm still very low into it. I was getting to the point where I was working up towards a half marathon, but I ended up with an injury. I ended up with a stress fracture in my right foot, which held me up for 3 months. And now I feel like I'm retraining. So I am currently back up to a 5K distance. And now I'm working towards getting back up to a 10K distance. But that half marathon, and even ultra marathon, yeah, I know, crazy, right? Is something that I'm seriously wanting to do. So if that sounds interesting to you, I hope you guys stick around. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and comment down below, guys. If there's something you guys want to know, put it down in those comments and I'll do my best to respond back to you guys. So anyways, with that out of the way, why don't you guys go ahead, grab your favorite running shoes, and don't forget your water. Hydration is important. We are going to do a total of 3 miles today. Half of that mile is going to be walking to kind of give us a nice warm up. And then after that, we're going to do 2.5 miles of easy pace jogging. Okay, so easy pace means that it's going to be, conversational pace. So I'm not going to be editing out any of this. I want to be able to run with you guys the whole time. And I just want to chat with you guys about everything that's been going on lately. And I'm going to get real and personal and honest with you guys because I feel like it's important to understand these things, to know where I'm coming from. Okay, so right here, I'm just now starting to get to the point where I am running. I did a quick 5-minute walk, and as you can probably tell, I am now doing a voiceover of this audio because the treadmill ended up being so loud. Even with the headphone in my ear, it just couldn't drown out the noise. So I decided I'm just going to do a voiceover, so don't mind the lips talking because, yeah. Anyways, I really wanted to do this video. That's why I'm doing the voiceover. I really wanted to have this talk, but I also wanted you guys to run with me. As you can see, I am doing a very slow conversational pace. I think my speed at the time was probably about 5 miles an hour or something like that. So it was like really, really slow. And I think this video in total, the whole running of it is going to be about 20 minutes. So even if you guys aren't running, maybe you're listening to me in your ear while you're doing a different workout, maybe like strength training or something, or maybe you're running with me, which would be really cool. But even if you go out for a walk or listen to me while you're, getting up and cleaning the house or something, the whole point of this video is just to get us up and get us moving and just to chat a little bit while we're doing it. So originally I had planned to do this on the treadmill because I thought that it would help with all of the background noise and so that you guys would be able to hear me. But like I said, the treadmill ended up being so loud and you just couldn't hear me. So it kind of didn't pan out. Normally I do my runs outside, and I figured, with all the loud trucks and things like that, again, you guys wouldn't be able to hear me. And I figured that it would be really hard for me to run 2.5 miles while holding my phone up
Like that would really start hurting my shoulders and really get draining. So I decided to do it this way. If you guys like this video and like this kind of video, even if that means I have to do voiceovers of the running, then please let me know down in the comments below, and I would love to do another one of these videos. I had an idea of possibly doing a video where I do like a Q&A. I know there's not a lot of us right now, but maybe eventually down the road we'll see. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into what I wanted to talk about in this video. As you can tell from the title of my thumbnail, I almost quit. And I am not referring to running. I haven't given up running, and I haven't given up on keto or anything like that, but I almost quit this channel. And it had nothing to do with the slow progress of my channel and viewers and things like that, because honestly, that's to be expected. I haven't done as much hard work into growing my channel as, several other people have done. And I've also watched lots of channels where people said that it took 6 to 7 years of them doing their channel before they actually started growing. So I'm not worried about that. And in my honest opinion, even if I'm only helping one person, then I'm happy, right? Like that's all I need. Even if I'm helping one person, then that makes this entire channel and all the work that I'm doing worth it, because running is fun and keto is fun, and I want to show that in these videos. I want to show that it can be done, right? Like you can run and you can do keto and you can do both of them, and it's completely doable, right? Like it's not as scary as people think. The main reason why I had almost quit this channel, and the reason why I didn't post a video last week, was because my family and I have been undergoing quite a bit of family drama, and it's been hard, and we've been trying our best to just let it go and move on with our lives, but sometimes that can be hard to do. It's not easy for my husband and I. We have been forced to make decisions that were not easy for us. It's not anything that we are just being mean about, right? Like it's something that had to be done for the safety of our family. I don't want to get too much into it, but it came down to not necessarily my needs or my husband's needs or the needs of other people. It came down to just the safety of our children. And I know that sounds so, cryptic, and I know it makes people curious, but, I don't want to say too much, because despite everything, people deserve their privacy. And no matter how mean and atrocious they have been, I don't want to be a mean piece. I don't want to be a mean person. This is something that I had prayed really hard about, that my husband prayed really hard about. And, I deal with some guilt over it, because I feel like all of the hardships that we've underwent with these particular people that have been causing us this stress, I feel like it's my fault, because I'm the one that kept wanting to go back. I was just so desperate for, to belong. I was so desperate to have a family that I thought that maybe this was it. This was my way of finding my family. And despite the fact that my husband was done like before we even met, right? Like he wanted to join the military, and leave and never come back. That was his goal. Like, so many people think that he joined the military because it was his dream, and that's what he let people believe. But in all honesty, he wanted to get away. And he was trying to get away, and he felt that the military was the quickest way to get there. And he's even told me several times that I was like his angel, that I saved his life, because he's like, honestly, if he wouldn't have met me, if he wouldn't have fallen in love with me, he's like, he probably would have just went to some war and just died. Right, like that's just the way it was. And then he met me, and he realized that that's not what he wanted. He wanted to be with me, and he wanted to start a family with me, and wanted to be together, and he found things worth living for again. And I feel like it was the same way for me too. Meeting him was like, because I had a hard childhood too. And we both just came together, and we realized that despite the hardships that both of us have faced in our life, that we wanted to be together. And we both had the same goal, that we wanted to create a life, create a family that wasn't going to be the hardships and the dramas that we faced as children. And quite recently, we were put into a situation that made us both realize that that's exactly what we were doing, not ourselves personally, but by associating with a narcissist, we have realized that we were putting stress on our kids. We were, by association, putting them through stresses that we promised each other that we weren't going to put our kids through. And I don't care what anybody says, right? Like, they can tell me what I should do, what I shouldn't do. And I'm so sick of hearing that, because at the end of the day, we can only control ourselves. And if people want to be in situations where they can be a part of our kids' lives, then they need to open their eyes, they need to grow up, and they need to take their own actions into accountability, because the things that had happened over the summer were not okay. They weren't acceptable, and we're not going to tolerate them anymore. And when I finally had enough, when I finally realized that they're not the people that I'm looking for to love my kids, my husband just collapsed, and he's like, it's about time. And I, because he knew from the very beginning, he already knew. He told me in the very beginning, like even before we were married, he's like, these are not the people that are going to be your found family. He's like, it's not going to happen. He's like, they weren't there for me. He's like, they never defended me or stuck up for me. They're not going to do that to you. And my heart broke for him. And I guess a part of me wanted to try to help him to have that with his family. And I feel like in a way I just made it worse, because he's so heartbroken over choices that are being made. And, as I don't know. See, here's where I'm just rambling on, and I don't want to do that. The point is that because of all of this stuff that was going on, I genuinely wanted to just give up on YouTube for a while and just lick my wounds and hide. And then I realized that I don't want to do that. Like, I feel like I spent my entire marriage to my husband around these people, trying to be, I don't know, like a fly on the wall, right? I was afraid to be myself. I was afraid to express myself. I was afraid of everything. And, and then it got to the point where I was always being blamed for everything. I mean, they had problems way before I came along, way, way longer than before I came along. Like, again, my husband wanted to leave. That's how bad it was. And yet somehow I ended up taking the blame for like everything. And I'm so sick of it. And, people are wanting to live with their heads buried in the sand, pretending like the problems that are there aren't really problems. And they're trying to find ways to excuse it, to make it make sense, right? Like, oh, this only happened because you said this, or it only happened because you're this way, or because you exist. And I am tired of being an scapegoat for people's bad behavior. And I woke up one morning and I realized that that's exactly what I had become. And I was starting to believe the lies that they were, making me want to believe. I should have just been quiet. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just, not existed. I'm not allowed to be myself. I'm not allowed to speak up. I'm not allowed to express hurts. I'm not allowed to, speak about the things that bother me. I'm not allowed. Just not allowed. And if I did, then it was my fault. And oh my gosh, this part is my husband. He's saying hi right here. He came in real quick because I was running at night. And so he came in real quick to say hi, and here's where he's going to give me a slap on the butt and scare me, the little turd. And then he's gone again. I love him to pieces. But anyways, it just it was just an eye opener for me. I can't say it was an eye opener for my husband because, again, all of this time that we spent trying to make things work, it was for my benefit. Like, my husband already knew it wasn't going to work. And in all honesty, he says the only thing that shocked him was that I put up with it for as long as I did. And he says that I am a lot more forgiving than he ever was. But I still feel bad because I feel like I put him through a lot more heartache and stuff when he could have just moved on, when he was ready to move on a long time ago. But again, like I said, I was just so desperate for a family that I tried. But then I ended up finding a family, and they're not my blood family, but, we started hanging out with the guy that we worked with. It ended up being like he needed help moving him, because it was just him and his mom, and they needed help moving from one house to another house. And they had heard that my husband and I had a truck. So he had asked us if we would help him move. And of course, we said yes. And then we just all hit it off right then and there. By that point, again, my husband and I were already married, but it was before we had my daughter. And they were just so nice, and they were so caring, and his mom was just amazing. Like, I was an adult by this point. I was married. We were talking about children. My husband was still in the military, right? Like, it wasn't like I needed a mom in a child's sort of perspective, but she was there for me in ways that no woman has ever been there for me. And you know what? She never judged me. She just accepted me for exactly who I am. She never asked for me to be anybody else. And I will be forever grateful for her and her son, who's become like, he's my big brother, but he's also my husband's brother. And it's sharing this story is kind of complicated because of that. But anyways, long story short, we have finally realized that we need to grow and strengthen as Christians, as adults, as parents, that we need to prioritize our children and their well-being and their health and our own. My husband needs to be able to let go and move on, and I want to support him in doing that. So I'm no longer going to stand in his way because of this deep need for a family. I found that with my found mom and my found brother, and I am tired of trying to make myself be somebody that I'm not to please people that I can't please. And so, as much as I wanted to quit this channel and, again, lick my wounds and hide, my husband's like, you know what, just give it a week. Just give it a week, see what happens. Don't post, right? Just give yourself some time. And I was sitting there and I was running, and I was like, I don't know, I felt like I was missing a piece of myself when I wasn't doing some kind of filming for you guys of my run. And because I have been filming for you guys since I started my run journey, and it just didn't feel right to be continuing without filming. And so with that being said, my next bit of news is I'm going to be changing my channel a bit. I have been doing keto for 10 years, and I feel kind of like keto in itself is kind of old news. And I'm still going to be doing keto, but I've decided that I want to focus this channel more on the running aspect of my life. Of course, there's still going to be some keto weaved in there because I am still going to be a keto runner, but I want to focus more on my running and the little bits of an aspect that I involve keto in with my running. So there's not going to be many recipe videos anymore, and I know they're like my most popular videos, so all I can do is hope that maybe I can get some more runners on here. For those people who have subscribed to me and are following my channel for my recipes and stuff, I do still plan on doing some reels and things like that. That's going to involve some of my cooking. I just want to shorten those videos to be more focused on the food and nothing else for personal reasons. So I will still be doing reels, and so if you guys are okay with that, right, I'll still be sharing some recipes and stuff on here. I'm also still going to be sharing videos and photos on my Instagram reels, and I still have my Facebook channel. So I still plan on filming every Saturday. And on top of that, I've also decided that I'm going to be starting a brand new YouTube channel. And this kind of came out of the left wing, but when I was doing my vlog, I realized when I was sitting down editing that I literally had to edit out 23 minutes of me talking about the book that I was reading. I was like, oh my gosh, and I realized I had so much fun doing that. It was an absolute blast. And so I've decided that on top of this channel, I'm going to be creating another channel where it's just all about books. It's going to be all about books. And so I'm really excited about that new chapter where I can just sit down with a microphone and just, oh, excuse me, I burped. But anyways, where I could just sit there and just talk about my books. And I have been doing so much more reading in the month of February. I feel like the month of February for me was a healing month. I was able to let go of stresses. I was able to let go of people who were hurting me, and I prioritized myself. I prioritized my needs. I prioritized my husband's. I prioritized my kids, and I'm proud of myself. It can be hard to step back from people because we don't want people to hurt. We don't want people to be sad, but at the same time, we have this tendency to hold on so tight that we're not even caring that we're being hurt. At some point you have to be brave enough to just not hurt anymore. And that's what we did. And honestly, my husband and I and our kids, we have been so happy in the last month. I have done more reading. We've done more family time. We started going to church again, and the people at the church are so amazing. I have sat down with the pastor. I have chatted with him, and I have found a Bible study group, and it's kind of like a grief counseling sort of Bible study group. And I have been sharing everything that I've went through with these people, with other people, with my family, my blood family, and I've really just opened up and I've shared, and it's so therapeutic to finally talk to somebody about how you're feeling. And the open environment, like they've been so kind, and they've all said the same thing that my husband has said, and that's like they're amazed that I handled it for as long as I did, that I took it for as long as I did. And so yeah, going to church again, and Bible studies, and meeting people, and our kids are going to be going into vacation Bible school, and they're hanging out with other kids at the church, and they're starting to open up more. And it's just been so therapeutic. And like I said, I've been reading more, and reading is its own therapy for me. So I'm so excited about doing this new YouTube channel. And but I don't want you guys to think that I will not be doing any focuses on here, because I will be. But I also want you guys to be aware that we're going to have some time in there. Oh, sorry. Okay. I got a little confused. Sorry. I want you guys to know that at some point soon, I will be changing the name of my channel, and I'm going to be doing a little new picture haul and things like that, changing things up a little bit. So I just don't want you guys to be confused when you go and you check your all the videos that your channels that you're subscribed to, and you go, who's this, right? Like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to change it to, but I'll try my best to give you guys a warning before I do that, and give you guys the name I'm going to be changing it to. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this Run With Me video. I know it was kind of long, and I hope everybody has a fantastic time. Thank you for hearing me out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.